Hi, I'm Austin.
And I'm Patrick, and today I can finally tell you my biggest secret. It's something that I've been holding on to for so long. I can finally tell you.
I'm gay.
Okay, yes, I know you knew that I was gay. Of course you know that I was gay. I mean, if you listen closely enough, even my breathing is gay. Lady Gaga's my queen. Now, if you didn't know that I was gay, you're probably brand new here, so I'll invite you now to subscribe to our channel by clicking that little red button down below. We would like you to join our family. We promise it'll be as dysfunctional as your actual family or your money back. Now, I will be clear that today I'll be telling my coming out story.
I told my coming out story in our last video, which is in the description below. Go check it out as soon as you're done with this one.
That being said, that's pretty much all I needed you for.
All right, well, I can take a hint. Goodbye.
Let's get started. Now, I'd say let's jump right into the story, but jumping sounds like too much physical activity for me, so I'm just gonna start talking. I have been out of the closet since February 17th, 2010, making this year my 8-year anniversary of being out of the closet. That's weird. I'm getting old. Now, the world has changed a lot since 2010, so let me paint a picture for you to bring you back in time. 2010 was the year that Inception came out and jokes about dreams changed forever. It was also the year that female pop stars ruled the world. Beyoncé won 6 Grammys that year, Katy Perry released Firework, and Lady Gaga released the Bad Romance music video, which altered the course of my life, essentially. Now, in 2010, I was a freshman at my high school in the little town of Lake Zurich, Illinois. It's a lovely place where entertainment usually revolves around sitting at McDonald's or walking around Walmart. Now, coming out for me was a multi-step process which involved telling different people at different times, which it is for a lot of people, I think. Of the many people in my life that I had to come out to, the one I was most nervous about was my girlfriend at the time, Erica. Prior to coming out, Eric and I had dated for about 6 months. We had PE together, and one day she just came up to me and started talking to me, and we became friends, and eventually she asked me out. At the time when she asked me out, I did realize I was attracted to men. I realized that probably sometime in middle school when, you know, we were in locker rooms and you start looking around and be like, oh, hey, that's going on. That's going on. Okay, cool. Plus, in middle school was around the time I started getting on the internet. And as you can imagine, for a hormonal, 12-year-old or however old I was, there was things on the internet I was interested in. Porn! Gay porn! Okay, so anyway, now even though I was attracted to men, I never really thought of myself as gay. It was more, okay, sure, I'm attracted to dudes, but I'm still gonna marry a nice lady and have kids. Heteronormativity at its finest. Now, I will say that by the time I was dating Erica, I think I had realized I was probably gay because I had noticed that there were more gay people around. In my high school, there was at least a couple people who were out, and so I kind of thought about how I could actually conceivably come out at some point in my life, but I had no plans to do so whatsoever. So I figured I might as well date this girl who is, by the way, to this day, very smart, very funny, gorgeous, and a great human being. Now, while we were dating, we were both involved in our theater program at our school. I know you're thinking, theater? Really? How didn't everybody know you were gay? That's actually a common misconception. Not everyone in the theater is gay. They're just bisexual. Sorry, that was a joke. I'm kidding. Once we joined theater, we also decided to join our school's gay-straight alliance, which I felt okay to do because my friends were joining it, and as the title suggests, gay-straight alliance. So I was straight, I could join and align. It's a really good thing I did join that group though, because it helped me understand what being gay was and that it wasn't some crazy thing, it was just part of who you are, and that actually I could come out at some point. Now, a few months into our relationship, I started trying to drop little hints that I was gay all over the place. I remember at one point I was at the mall with my friends and they said, oh, if you don't come into Victoria's Secret with us, you're gay. Which, by the way, to this day, I still do not understand the logic of that joke, but still, I decided to stay outside thinking, okay, maybe they'll notice. They didn't, they just kind of brushed past it like, oh, okay, fine, whatever, we'll go in. After I dropped all these hints and no one was taking the bait, I decided it was finally time to tell someone. So I decided to text a friend of mine who was a lesbian and just kind of float the idea that I had been questioning my sexuality. She kind of responded with like, "Aw, that's so cute. instead of really giving advice. But then again, she was also a freshman and going through all of her own stuff, so I definitely don't blame her. But it didn't really feel like I had come out or I got anything out of it, so I definitely felt like I was still in the closet. Finally, one night, I was with my friend Monica and her mom, who is basically my second mom, and we were watching Lord of the Rings. At one point during the movie, Monica goes, "Oh, Legolas is so hot." For whatever reason, I got the courage to go, "Yeah, he is." My friend Monica then turns to me and goes, "Aw, is Patrick bisexual?" I didn't respond. But then later that night, I was sitting in my room and I decided to text Monica. I said, "Remember when you asked me if I was bisexual earlier? Well, yeah, I am." She ended up texting back and was crazy nice and very supportive, and honestly, probably more excited than anything. Now, I don't know why I didn't tell her right at that moment that I was gay, because I told her probably a day later that I was actually just gay. But I guess for whatever reason, saying I was bi seemed easier than coming out as gay, but I was actually gay, so that was the deal. Anyway, from that moment, my closest group of friends knew. So the next thing I realized I had to do was I had to come out to my dad. Now, I was filled with anxiety about this, which kind of seems silly considering the fact that my dad is literally an old hippie. Like, when I say he's an old hippie, I mean that he has a ponytail and constantly gets in comment wars on Facebook with Republicans on Fox News clips. It's real. But still, for whatever reason, telling him scared the hell out of me. But it just so happened that one night we were having a conversation about how I'm friends with a lot of girls, and eventually those girls were probably gonna get boyfriends, and their boyfriends might be jealous of me. I realized that this might be the right opportunity to say, "Dad, I don't think we have to worry about that." So as he was talking, I was mustering up the courage and I was just trying to get into it, and finally I go, "Dad, I think I'm gay." My dad then proceeded to just look at me very frankly and goes, "Oh, I think you're gay too. Why do you think so?" It was like someone wrote it for an ABC Family sitcom, right? I mean, come on. After that, he hugged me for a long time, told me he loved me, and everything was all good. So I just come out to my dad. Whew. I came out to my mom the next day on the phone because I didn't live with her, and I just said, "Mom, I'm gay." And she thought I was kidding. She goes, "Patrick, I've had a lot of gay friends in my life. That's not a funny joke." It actually took a couple minutes for me to convince her that I actually was not kidding and that I actually was gay. And once I did, she was very supportive, very happy, very excited. So from there, I was out to my parents. Like, what? I was just zipping through it. So finally, almost everyone in my immediate life knew. In fact, after that, a couple people not in my immediate life knew. I got a Facebook message one night from a senior named Lexi, who was a lesbian. I knew her from drama club. She messaged me and goes, "Hey, I know I don't know you that well, but we were having a conversation after the drama club meeting the other night, and, well, we just think you might be gay. It just seems like from your Facebook statuses and everything that you might be struggling with something, and we just wanted to let you know that if you are gay, the drama department is a big family, and we love you and we accept you for who you are, and if you're not gay, you know, we're sorry." So what that meant is actually the entire drama department thought I was gay and was having discussions about it, so that was good. But actually that message meant a lot to me because it meant that I did have all these people at my school that were gonna support me if I came out. So I messaged Lexi back and I said, "Yeah, I am gay, but there's one problem. I have to tell my girlfriend." So at that point, the last step was telling Erica. Now, this was all happening at the beginning of the year, so as February rolled around, I decided I needed to tell her in the next couple of days. One night, I actually thought I had the courage to do it, but then my friend Monica reminded me that it was Valentine's Day, and that would be a totally dick move if I came out to her on Valentine's Day, which thankfully I agreed with, because wow, that really would have been a dick move. Finally, one night, I decided that the next day I was going to tell her. But I wanted to prep her for it. So I was texting with her as we normally do, and I remember I was sitting at my desk in my room, and I just text her and I say, "Hey, by the way, I have to tell you something tomorrow." Which, by the way, that was a terrible thing to do. I hate when people do that to me, like, "Oh, hey, can I talk to you about something?" Like, just ask. Sorry, that just bothers me. I should have never done that. But when I texted Erica that, she just sends back, "Are you breaking up with me?" Oh God, my heart dropped into my stomach.
My stomach felt like it was going to fall out my butt.
I just was like, oh my God, how do I even answer this? Oh my God, I didn't think this was gonna happen right now. I didn't really know how to answer because yes, technically I was, but not for the reason she was thinking. So I just answer, not exactly. The next text I got from Erica really surprised me because she just said, "Are you gay?" I remember looking at that text for what felt like an hour, and I was just thinking like, how how does she know? I didn't really know how to answer, but finally I just said, yes. Now here's what really got me. What happened next is Erica called me. I stared at my phone watching it ring and I was petrified. I didn't know what to do. I thought I was gonna answer that phone and she was going to be bawling and telling me I'm a horrible person and I'm the worst and blah, 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 blah. But somehow I answered the phone. Erica was like excited. She was happy. She was like, yay, oh my God, I'm so happy for you and blah, 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 blah. I have never felt such a relief, like an instant like, oh my God. Like it was this instant, like it left the knot in my stomach just disappeared because she answered the phone and wasn't torn apart. I really almost couldn't believe it. It was actually then years later that Erica told me that at that moment she actually was really, really upset. But she knew that it was really hard for me to come out and she didn't want to make it any harder, so she just pretended to be excited for me. Honestly, to this day, that might be one of the kindest things anyone has ever done for me because, like I said, I was so scared in that moment, and when she reacted so positively, it made me feel like I could come out to anyone. It made me feel like everything was gonna be okay. That was like truly selfless, and it meant so much to me, and I'm so honored to say that we're still friends to this day, and I still love her and all that good stuff, and that after everything we went through, it actually just ended up forming a really strong friendship between us. So I'll always be thankful for Erica because of that. So after that, I pretty much just gave the go-ahead to say, hey, the secret's out. Which, let me tell you, it was like there was a press release issued. Oh my God. It felt like every single person that I ever interacted with knew within an hour. I was getting texts and Facebook messages and etc. like, oh, I heard you're gay, is it true? Is it true? Now, even though I got over telling my dad and my mom and Erica, I still had to now actually go out and face people, which I didn't really recognize at first. I remember going to school the next day and I was taking the bus and I got off and it was freezing cold. And I was walking towards the door of my school and I was just thinking, this is happening. I have to go in there now. I opened up the doors to my school and immediately I just looked over. I see these two like jockey boys and they just like looked up at me. I just felt this feeling like they were just gonna scream, you're a fag, or they're gonna, you know, whatever, they're gonna do something. And I was terrified. But remember how I said I was in the drama department? Well, in drama, we had been studying how people walk. Most people either walk with their chest, their crotch, or with their head. Out of the three, we learned that people who walk with their chest generally walk with confidence. Their head is up, and they just walk forward, and it makes it look like they own the damn world. I don't know what came over me, but somehow I garnered this courage. I just puffed my chest out, and I walked right past them. And that's how I walked through the rest of the day. At one point, I wasn't even thinking about it. I was just like, okay, this is me. This is what I'm doing. This is who I am now. Now, thankfully, everyone was so nice during that day. I didn't hear any negative things to my face. I'm sure there was people who said things behind my back or whatever, but thankfully, everyone that I actually interacted with was really, really kind. The only other big group that I really had to face at this point was my extended family. It was probably a few weeks after I officially came out that we had a family party. Walking in, I knew that everyone had already kind of heard because my dad told some people, and I was actually getting pretty comfortable with the fact that I was gay, but it was still really nerve-wracking. But I was really lucky in this sense too, because I had an uncle who came out to my family decades before people ever really came out. Unfortunately, I never got to meet him and his partner because they both passed away before I was born, but they pretty much set up my family to be a pretty inclusive place for me. That's really when I realized that coming out actually has this ripple effect on people. My family wasn't surprised or didn't really have any reaction when I came out other than support because they had already gone through this. The ripple had already gone through the generations and they were like, no, we're cool with this. Actually, at one point, I was playing with my younger cousins, and there was the two girls and then the boy. And the little boy, for whatever reason, decided to grab one of the little girl's dresses and he put it on, and then he took off running. I chased after him because I was like, what are you doing? Come back here, come back upstairs. But he runs downstairs where all of my aunts and uncles are, and they run past them, and my Aunt Nancy just looks at me and goes, Patrick, what did you do? My family was making gay jokes at me, and it was funny. Like, we were all laughing, like, okay, girl. Like, coming out of the closet was oddly a very quick process for me. At one point, I just decided, okay, I'm gonna come out. And then within about 2 weeks, I was out to everyone. And then a month after that, I was dating a boy named Jordan. It was like, all of a sudden, this was just life. I got through the tough parts and now it was just who I am. I never really had a moment to stop and think about how crazy it was that I was able to just come out, and I was so lucky that I didn't really face any struggle. Now actually, a year after I came out when I was a sophomore, I became the vice president of my school's Gay Straight Alliance. And a year after that, I became the president. Because of that and the fact that I used to wear a three-piece suit to school on most days, I was kind of known as the resident gay at my school. Everyone just knew, like, oh, he's the gay guy. That's who he is. And I was happy about that. I was excited. It seemed really crazy that I had a whole life before coming out. I also don't know how I got so lucky to never really have gotten bullied, because there were actually a couple LGBT kids in my school that did face some sort of bullying or harassment of some kind. The most I ever got was like, there was some hicks in my town and they drive by and they're pickup trucks and they go, oh, faggot, and I would just blow them a kiss because I felt I might as well just, you know, send them a blessing. Or one time I remember as a senior and some of the new freshmen came in. So I was walking through the cafeteria and these two freshman boys were kind of like messing around and one of them like pushed the other one at me. And I could tell that they were like, oh, like, you touched the gay guy. So I just stopped and I got a little bit in their face and I said, listen, you can't catch homosexuality. And I gotta tell you that you're in high school now and people aren't gonna tolerate this. So it's time to act more mature. Okay, have a good day. The look on his face, oh, the color was drained from him. It was really wonderful. I really do love that moment. Looking back, I really don't know where I got the confidence to come out at 15, but I definitely count it as one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. When I think about being gay, I think that I am so lucky. Being gay helped me be more empathetic and helped me see things with a new perspective, and it also means that I get to be a part of a diverse and interesting community that I'm so proud of. Now, thankfully coming out was a positive experience for me, but it's not that way for everyone. Even though it seems like everything's all good and it's 2018 and we can get married, there are still thousands of kids out there that are still struggling to come out of the closet. So it's so important, if you are the LGBT community, to share your stories when you can and help people and be supportive. And if you're not in the community, be an ally and be helpful. I was so lucky to have so many people by my side that just encouraged me and said, you're doing all right, you're gonna be fine. It's all good, we love you, we accept you. And if you are in the closet, I'll just say this. There are millions of people out there just like me that understand exactly what you're going through. And we're all out here ready for you to come out and for us to love you. I'll also say that there is no right or wrong way to come out. Whether it means that you're just telling a friend or a stranger on the internet, or you're getting on top of your local Target with a megaphone and screaming, I'm gay! You have to do whatever is best for you. Make sure you're safe, make sure you're comfortable, and make sure you're ready. Basically, just do it on your own terms. Now, if you're still here listening to me ramble, I'm just gonna say I love you. I really do. I love you. I love all of you. I wanna say thank you for being supportive of this channel and making it so that Austin and I get to keep making videos. I just love it. I'm filled with love. I appreciate it so much. So if you did enjoy this video, give it a big thumbs up and make sure to comment down below if there's anything else to do with coming out or gay things or whatever questions that we can answer. We'd be happy to do so. I love talking about this stuff because frankly, it would have been nice to hear it when I was a little gay kid. So love you. Make sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification, and make sure to watch Austin's coming out video. It'll be in the description down below. Gay stuff. Done. Yes. Crushed it. Bye.